Short Shorts Film Festival in Asia 2020, we are back. 皆さん、また戻ってきました。ショートショートフィルムフェスティバルin Asia 2020。今度はですね、インターナショナルプログラム3の1作品目、アメリカの作品でジェーンという作品なんですが、今監督のキャットさんとつながってますので、いろいろお話を聞きたいと思います。Kat, thanks for joining us and congratulations on getting selected to our festival this year.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
So, Jane, for me, it was an excellent short film, almost with a documentary-like reality. First of all, how did you come up with the idea for the story? まず、キャットさんには、このジェーンという作品は非常にもうリアリティにあふれる作品で、ドキュメンタリータッチの、ところもあったんですが、まずこのストーリーのアイディアはどこから取ってきたのかって聞いてます。Kat, where did you get the idea for the story?
So originally Jane was a woman who lived in her car in the story. She was based on two women I knew in real life who I had met. One of them I met working on a needle exchange bus, and one of them I met through a friend of a friend who had experienced similar things to Jane. And she was originally living in her car. And during that time when I was writing the film, I moved to downtown Los Angeles. And in downtown Los Angeles, there are these residential hotels called single room occupancy hotels. And I changed it to set the film in one of those because I felt like that world hadn't really been explored, and I didn't know that people were living in these tiny micro studio apartments in downtown LA right next to these like expensive loft buildings. So that was a world I wanted to explore.
Now the original lady that you met who was living in her car, was that in LA or was that somewhere else?
So the women that I knew that this was like that Jane was kind of based on, they weren't living in their car. Sorry, the living in her car thing was just something that I wanted to do originally. Yeah, but I know there are people, lots of people who live in their car in LA, as I'm sure you know as well.
Sure. キャットさんはまずそのストーリーのイメージの中では、そのジェーンという主人公は、いわゆるホームレスで車の中に住んでたんですけど、その脚本を書いてる間、キャットはロサンゼルスに引っ越したんですよね。で、ロサンゼルスでは、特にダウンタウンでは、SRO、シングルルームオキュペンシーというホテルがありまして、いわゆる小さい部屋に安く住めるっていうホテルがありまして、で、その意外なのはそのダウンタウンロサンゼルスというのは、そういういわゆるホームレスとか、本当にお金ない人たちが住める古い小さいいわゆる建物の隣に最近建てた大きいマンションも建てられてるっていうことが非常に皮肉なんですよね。And of course, casting is so important. And you got Gail Ranking to play Jane. She, of course, is very busy as you are as an actress as well. How did you manage to get Gail for this?
It was, I actually don't know. I had written the script, and Gail was my first choice. I had seen her in Glow, and I remember there was one scene that I saw her in the first season, and she didn't have as big of a part in the first season, but there was this one scene where I was like, oh my God, she's one of the best actresses in the show. Why don't they give her more stuff? And I had written the script and just told my agent that I really wanted Gail. And he was like, well, just send her a letter, send her an email, send her a letter. And I was like, fine, whatever, fine. And she said yes. So
that's
very lucky.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
It never hurts to ask, for sure.
It's a lesson learned.
でこの主人公ジェーンを演じているのはゲイル・ランキンさんという女優なんですが、特にネットフリックスのグローっていう、女子レスラーの物語なんですが、キャットはそのファーストシーズンで特にワンシーンゲイルさんの演技を見て、この役者はすごい、なんでもっと使われてないのっていうことで、キャットさんはこの脚本を書いた時にはもうイメージにはもうゲイルさんしかいなかったんですよね。でまさか参加してくれないでしょと思いながらエージェントに聞いてみたら、じゃあ メッセージ送ってみたら、電話してみたら、レター、手紙書いてみたらって、言われて送ったら、もう受けてくれたんですよね。Well, that is absolutely great. And, we have a lot of young filmmakers and creators who participate in our festival or watch our festival. And that's the key thing, isn't it? It never hurts to ask. You have to go ahead and go for it sometimes.
Yeah. It feels really like cringy when you do it, but and you probably still get lots of no's, but yeah, you should still ask the questions.
That's a good point to take up for sure. I like that you kept focusing on Jane's side of the story instead of going to like the kid's side and the kid's family. And kind of an open-ended ending for me. I really liked how you did that. Was a lot of this the way you had planned it, or did a lot of it change as you were filming it?
I actually had a producer who was working with me while I wrote like so many drafts of the script. And I had a producer who was helping me or sort of would give me notes on the script. And I remember it used to end at the little girl's house. You never saw anything after that. And he was like, yeah, but like, we've been watching Jane the whole time. So yeah, we care what this kid thinks and what this new mum thinks. But like, Jane is the one we want to see how this affects her because this is her film. And that's why we ended up seeing her again on the bus. And I think that was really good advice. I think he changed the whole film with that. So I'm very pleased he said that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes producers can be a help.
Yeah, often. Sometimes not, but often they can.
Some of our best friends are producers, right?
Yeah.
映画、本当にキャットさんうまく監督務めたのは、ほとんどジェーン、お母さんの方のサイドのストーリーを描いたんですよね。でもちろん娘さんのストーリーも重要なんですけど、もう本当にフォーカスはジェーンで、本当はエンディングはこういうエンディングじゃなかったんですよ。で、プロデューサーがいろんな脚本のドラフトを見て、で、本当は最後は娘さんの目線から終わるつもりだったけど、いや、この映画はジェーンの話なので、ジェーンで終わった方がいいんじゃないのっていうアドバイスを受けて、こういう素晴らしいエンディングにしたんですよね。Just one final point, as a music lover, I was just really, really happy that you used Linda Ronstadt, and especially from her Stone Ponies days, a different drum, which is a wonderful song, and you used it perfectly in the short.
Thank you so much. I loved that song. I was, it was, I couldn't find something I liked more. I'd like listened to it as like an ideal and then couldn't get it out of my head. So I'm glad we got to use it.
Great job, Kat. It's a truly, truly wonderful short. It's really a fine example of what I think short film movie making can be and should be, where you can just focus on one character and almost just one situation and just put all that into that short amount of time. So great job. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, we talked a day or two ago, and you're in Brooklyn now, right? In New York?
I'm in Brooklyn right now.
And what are you working on?
I'm actually writing. I have a feature that I have two features, but one of them is more developed. So I'm working on those two things right now. And I'm in post on a short documentary that I've been working on. So hopefully you get to see it.
We're going to look forward to a lot more from you as a director, and that's a great thing. So, Kat, thanks once again for taking part in our festival. キャットさんは今ニューヨークのブルックリンにいるんですけど、実際の姉妹はロサンゼルスなんですけど、今ブルックリンで脚本を仕上げようとしてるんですよね。で、一つの脚本はもうほとんど出来上がってて、もう一つはまだこれから作るところなんですけど、あとドキュメンタリーのショートフィルムをもう今仕上げてる、ポストプロダクションで仕上げてるとこなので、これから我々はキャットさんの監督としての活躍を期待できると思います。Short Shorts Film Festival in Asia 2020. We are so happy, proud to have Kat Prescott with us. So thanks so much for your time and telling us about your wonderful short film, Jane. If you'll give your fans here in Japan a final message, and we'll sign off. Thanks so much, Kat.
Thank you so much for having me. I was so excited to get into this festival. Like I said, the ones we're hoping for. So, yeah, thank you so much. And hopefully see you in person at some point in the future.
All right, Kat. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya.